Hello and welcome back. Today we will be focusing on exploits, bugs, and general abuse that can be accomplished within the game. There will be some pretty nasty exploits that might make playing the game fair difficult for people with poor self-control, so you have been warned. First off, we're going with the bug that we have been noticing, namely you send in a lot of people, not that many people actually showed up. You clearly saw me send in 26 people, only 12 showed up. As I'm trying to demonstrate, this is tied to the amount of equipment you bring into the battle. So you saw I completely filled everyone's inventory up with Toxigun ammo and just Toxiguns. And that was a direct cause I have determined for the not that many people showing up. In my playthrough, you also clearly saw it causing enemies to not spawn with equipment. For some reason that does not hold up here. I will show some more other things compared to, but you can clearly see all of them have weapons. If this happened during the campaign, it would have been very difficult for us. But fortunately I did not have my inventories as spammed out as here, but it could have happened worse. But clearly these guys know how to shoot and have the ability to do so. Ours do not, however, for a reason. That some may have noticed. Anyways, let us compare it to another instance once we kill this final guy. Hey, come on. I saw you. Here you go. Next, we do the same thing, the same amount of people, but this time everyone has only just 2 guns each, basically. See how many people show up this time. Let's see here, this would be 6, 12, 24, 28. Yep, everyone showed up. Look at that. 10, 20, 26. Yep. Also, I cannot count sometimes, but yeah. This time definitely 26 people showed up. And you can clearly see it had to do with the amount of equipment. However, it would still appear that the enemy are spawning with weapons, so what happened during the campaign has proven pretty hard for me to replicate actually, now that some time has gone by. So that is a clear exploit on how to try to manipulate things, but with the result not entirely predictable. After we have done this, we are gonna show I'm gonna show some of the more obviously in favor of XCOM exploits that may require some willpower on people's part to not exploit once they know they exist. Come on, die. Ow. I think Paul Blart marked up. Yep, he died. Good. And there we go. Next up, some footage I recorded way earlier from while I was still doing the campaign, maybe. No, I don't really remember when I took this footage, but I do remember I meant to use it for showing off what I thought I understood of this exploit. Namely, bring lots of equipment, the enemy gets bugged and gets no equipment. But apparently that's not what happened during my most recent recordings, as you just saw. But let's see what happens this time. A lot of people, a lot of equipment, some don't. Just so you don't get surprised if they start with no equipment. I'll let you know. As you can see, most people show up. The ones on our team that start with no equipment, I can just say they were meant to start with no equipment, so no problem there. I was just too lazy that day to actually equip them. Bad idea, but whatever. For demonstrationing. The real deal is that we are gonna go find and look at the enemy, see what kind of stuff they have. Hello, cultists. Well, you can clearly see one of them is completely without equipment. Those three have weapons. Those three don't have weapons. It's pretty random, I would have said, but this was very replicatable during the time period that I was attempting it. But then, during this most recent times, it was very odd. And merely resulted in fewer of my people spawning, so I don't really know what exactly will happen. But needless to say, going in with a lot of people with a lot of equipment would make strange things happen. Be warned. Pew. Alright. Yep. Moving on. It is time to get with the real glitches. And now we will learn how to make brain suckers even less scary. At least in real time. The key is to have a dude walk up, find a brain sucker, let it fall on your head, or rather, for when it does fall on your head. Alright. Normally, you are disallowed from entering the inventory, probably to prevent yourself from actually selecting a grenade. But you can just do this. Select another dude, go into his inventory, select the other dude's inventory, and do that. And the glitch is completely avert. It basically means you are immune to brain suckers now. I refrained from using it during the campaign because that would just mean it never ever happens, mostly. Actually, it would have happened once because of my being distracted, but whatever. That's a simple exploit to make it completely harmless. Now we are gonna make money. Free money. First off, sell off these so I don't get confused about them later. Next, we take the Storm Dog vehicles, completely worthless for absolutely every reason except this. Take a look, they cost 6,000 to buy. We sell their weapon and their ammunition for their weapon for 5,200, and the vehicle is still worth 5,600, meaning each vehicle would bring a profit, a very tidy profit, limited of course by how many you can buy each week, but still a nice little bonus. It's almost not an exploit, but I would consider it one, so I never did this deliberately. but you can clearly make a little bit of cash at the beginning of each week. There, and sell off the actual storm dogs. Yay, a nice profit of 24,000. Now, however, we go to the real exploit. Be warned, turn off now if you have no self-control. Alright then. For this, you just need a workshop, a work project. Click a new project to start, anything really. Click it, accept, then start a new one. Then just press enter, 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 enter. Start new, never actually quit the thing, just keep hitting enter, and free money will appear from nothing. Congrats. I wonder how many people I will ruin through this, who will never be able to play legit again. Anyways, you can do this as soon as you have a workshop and something you can produce, say the bio module. It's very slow when you're going through the bio module, but it works for infinite money. It's just annoying. There we have it. Just 7, take a look at how slow that would go, but yep, that's the most obviously awful way of doing it, but there are other ways to get infinite money and infinite, or at least in this case, infinite equipment. We are moving on with the stun raids. This takes advantage of the fact that enemies will not shoot at you until you have shot them down first. And the AI does not consider being stunned to be a threatening action. Which means, if you can stun everyone, you can win a mission, take their stuff, and without any negative repercussions whatsoever. This means free equipment, free money, free Elerium, and basically means you can start the very first day, if you do it repeatedly, with like a dozen power swords, plasma guns, heavy launchers, mini launchers, and basically have an outrageous advantage from the very beginning. There is a negative towards doing this, however, and that is that your score will increase dramatically, and your score is linked to how quickly the aliens advance. So if you do like 20 of these missions from the very beginning, then the aliens will likely have Devastator cannons, maybe shields, on their very first mission you encounter them, instead of the brainsucker launchers you normally encounter them with. However, you can abuse this even further by, instead of actually completing the mission, you just go in there, stun some people, take their guns and run away. That will allow you to have all the things, but without actually taking the huge score gain, and thereby being really good. Let's see if we can find something else here to stun. I want to just win this for the sake of easy collecting, because if you collect manually you might miss a whole bunch of stuff like Elerium pods around the place and random equipment lying around and whatnot. As you can see, quite a score amount, and as you can see, Marsec still neutral towards us. You can do this however much you like. Let's see how much nice equipment we gain from this. Some high explosives, machine gun, sniper, outcan. Plasma guns cannot normally be purchased from the beginning of the game, so that's a nice bonus. Heavy launchers, mini launchers, extremely useful. Ooh, what is this? We are gonna take a closer look at what this does, I think. Oh, and we got power surge. Yes. Basically a very fun but abusey way of gaining equipment and free money. That you can obviously continue however long you wish, because there is just no danger whatsoever as long as you don't blow them up. Now let's check something else out. Head in here. Let's see if we can find ourselves another mind shield. Mind shields are only present in MARSEC buildings. As far as I know, only in the arms factories. Maybe they are in other MARSEC buildings. But here is where I know they are found. Ooh, I think that is one. Alright. You might figure out what this will do, but take a look at the side defense of Ernest Hemingway, 79. Now, yes, still 79. Let's remove this. Put this on. Activate it. Look here. Oh, it is now 109. Yep. And now, with it still activated, let's exit the building. Everyone, our work here is done. Get out. Do. Now, let's see what happened. Take a look at our Ernest. What is this? The side defense is now permanent. Ooh. Yeah, this is an abuse for free side defense. You can just start each mission with a side shield, activate it on all your dudes, exit the mission, and you'll have eventually free influence for everyone. No, not influence. Side defense. Yes. So, this is pretty much it. I hope you have enjoyed this video of the glitching and debugging that I know of. If anyone else knows various glitches and abuses and whatnot, share them in spoilers, I guess, so no one gets ruined. But yeah, thanks for now. Goodbye.